on to episode 2. Okay. As you can see, the Slavic Federation, the Reds, as the other people call them, have invaded or taken over most of Asia and are currently at war with Australia, because they popped up. The Australian Commonwealth popped up. And the Middle East, they're also at war with the Middle East. Yeah. The Middle East also spread it. They were able to get to Eastern Africa and Central Africa. The Allies, or not the Allies, the Europeans have advanced. When they took over South Africa, and then they took over Central Africa, which was originally part of those guys. The African people haven't really done much. Well, actually, they've spread to Brazil. Good job for them. The Icelandic people have also spread to Greenland, which is great for them. Again, with European fashion, the Soviets had this, but then they took it. But then the Middle Eastern people, they all broke up. Turkish men came in, took over southern Europe, and now, well, the Europeans have decided, hey, that's part of Europe. We want that. Let's take it. And then just came in and took it. And most of the Middle Eastern people mainly have to fight. They have to work with each other. And also the Commonwealth of Australia, they also managed to take Japan. And also because they were both, the Middle East and Australia are both native people, they had signed an alliance and they're both now at war, yada yada yada. Yeah. And yeah, they don't, the war is pretty much, well, they're now pretty much just defending. The Australians are defending some parts. The Middle Eastern people, they've sent their forces from boats. They sent their troops from here. Took a boat all the way to here. And 2 of their forces are now here, protecting them. So yeah, they're now at war, and they were first. The Slavics are winning now. We've cut off these 2 troops, so they've joined their comrades. And in the south, they're mainly reconciled. They're now thinking, okay, how are we going to do this? Now, Vatutin, who's the commander, has made a bold decision in sending all of his troops across the strait to the Red Sea and I think the Gulf of Aden. And combined with their main force, they've now come in and they defeated the Turkish troops, the Turkish tribe. I feel bad for them. And the Turkish are now retreating. They're now retreating to their main group. But because of 2 pushes, and also they're now winning, they're sending in more reinforcements. But, well, again, because they're cut off, here, they're here, and there's forces here. They can't really fight their way out. Well, actually, they could, but Vatutin has led his troops into here through the Gulf of Aden, or I don't know how you say it, and they've been defeated, unfortunately. No, for them. They've sent more reinforcements to Australia, the Australian Commonwealth, and the New Zealand, and they've retrieved some of their forces, and are now going to fight their way they're now going to keep their land that they've taken. They're not letting the Slavics. They're not letting the Slavics get into their land. Mainly because, well, I mean, they've this is their land. They're not having it. They want it. They're keeping it. Zhukov is having more. And he's doing well on this side. They're now retreating and are now going to battle Vatutin. Vatutin's forces have now retreated. Go turn it. Stupid thing. Okay. There and are now moving to Madagascar. They're keeping in Madagascar, and they're now going to get pushed back. The two reserves, the two Commonwealth Australian soldiers that a few brigades, two of the infantry units are now defending. It's like 8,000 men versus like 20,000. Yeah. Weeks pass. Just imagine weeks have passed. Weeks have passed and no real, what's happened on the front. The Europeans aren't really doing much. They're trying to get in. They've taken, the Slavics have taken back China, taken most of the Middle East and most of India, or all of India, and are now going to battle against them in Southeast Asia. And they're now sending troops in. I can imagine. Sorry for my hand, but they're now retreating and are now staying over in Indonesia. And they're now just camping. They're just gonna camp here. They're not gonna do anything. They're not gonna advance on this front, but they're just gonna sit here. They're just gonna sit here, not doing much, just waiting for the thing. Still advancing into this land. Church. No. A month has passed. One infantry unit has finally fallen. There's still about 3,000 men versus again 22,000. Yeah, pretty crazy. And through the art of blockading it, they can't get supplies through. So the general said to the general of the Australian, the Slavic general said to the Australian one, he's like, "Hey, do you want food? Well, you can surrender. Do you want to surrender? You can stop this fighting." And they've denied it. So 2 months have passed. Most of the men have perished from starvation. But the general and his group of lads, are still defending. And this group, well, they've still kind of... Vatutin has replenished his troops, are now sending them in here. They've now just been weakened, so they're now retreating. And yes, this is how a man retreats in this game. They're in this where they just teleport. They just go, we're running away. And yeah. Vatutin now owns the southern part and can now put pressure on this last group. Now, John Lancaster, who's the leader of the Aussie group, he is faced with a dilemma. 2 armies from both, and he's going to have to battle against 2 groups of armies. Will he surrender? And the leader of the country he'll be kicked out. They won't be really nice to him. What will he do? See in the next video.